Hey everybody, it's Innovision, and today we're gonna hop in our Turtles in Time Machine so we can celebrate like it's 1988. And what we have right here is our 1988 remastered 6-pack of TMNT action figures by Playmates. We're about to kick back, reminisce, and review each one of these action figures. Stick around because you don't want to miss any of it. For those of you out there who are like me, who grew up in the 80s, you probably remember walking into stores and seeing the original versions of these toys on store shelves. When you see this package, I mean, it just hits you in the nostalgia. You can't help but smile, and your inner child is smiling when you see these amazing action figures. Picture this, it's 1988, you're in the first grade, you're walking into a department store with your mom to do the worst kind of shopping, clothes shopping. So we're about halfway through the school year and your mom tells you something that's music to your ears. You get to pick out a toy because you're doing well at school. And you're filled with excitement and concern all at the same time. I mean, you're ecstatic, you get to pick out a toy, but then you're thinking to yourself like, why couldn't this be Toys R Us or KB Toys? You know, we're at a department store like JCPenney or Sears, and they've maybe got like 10 toys there tops. But hey, you know, your mom probably got a coupon or something, and so that's why she can take you there to get the toy. So we're finally done with shopping, and your mom says, now you can pick something out. I'm walking around, there's not too many things, you know, some things she's like, oh, it's too expensive, forget about it. But then I come across something that's like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's the original 1988 Playmates Toys Leonardo action figure from the line. The hallmark of those toys is the soft head, and that was true for the first wave of those toys, and then in later waves they switched to the hard head to reduce manufacturing costs and things of that nature. And what I have right here is a reissue of the 1988 action figure with the soft head. At that time, you know, I had not really been watching Ninja Turtles on TV yet. I'd seen a couple things and blips there, but when I saw this action figure, it was just like I was smitten. Immediately, all I could think about was Ninja Turtles, especially when I wasn't at school. That began my lifelong TMNT passion. You know, it was after I acquired this action figure for the first time, I started to become exposed to the TV show, and then the rest was history. Effectively, these action figures are remastered versions of this line. And by the way, these action figures just popped up on the Target app and on the Target website. I'm going to put a link in the description. It's not an affiliate link. It's just an act of kindness. So for anybody who's looking for them, check out the description in the video. And one of the things that's amazing about this pack of action figures, not only do we get all 4 of the brothers, we get a reimagined or remastered version of Master Splinter and Shredder. Another thing that's really cool here is that we're paying less than $10 for action figure. This whole pack of action figures, $55. It's rare to pay less than $10 an action figure these days, much less for something TMNT related. Another thing that's extremely unique about this configuration here, for those in the box collectors out there, this looks great as it is. The figures are already staged, they look terrific. You could literally just put this on your shelf if you wanted. Another thing I want to bring to everyone's attention here is the art style on these boxes. So, you know, this is the original artwork that was included in the 80s, and I'm going to put some high resolution pictures just so you can see it a little bit easier. But the art style is very similar. So this is new artwork that was made for this pack of action figures, and it looks very similar. It's still got that bold, edgy look. You know, they really captured the comic look and appeal of the Eastman and Laird comics for the artwork that's included on these toys. And you know that Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird must have had a hand in that. There was so much attention to detail with this packaging. Even on the top here, you've got the sewer lid. So it's like you're coming in from the top, going down the ladder, and you're in the sewer, and this fight scene's going on. And this same scene that we see on the front of the box here is this exact scene we see on the back of the box. And that's really cool. Yeah, and you even see, you know, there's earlier, it was in the sewer playset, I think there's a periscope for you to look out from, and you see Donatello's holding the periscope there, and it comes out on the fire hydrant right there, so you can see what's going on at the surface. It's just all these little, these are definitely homages to the original toys, the original artwork. And that's what I mean when I say this hits you in the nostalgia. Not only do the toys look and feel the same way, the packaging, everything. I mean, it's completely a spiritual embodiment of the 1988 toys. And it's like, this is how it would turn out if they were to do it today. And that's awesome. Alright, enough about that. It's time to open it. Oh wow, so the first thing that I noticed too, you've got this really neat backdrop in the packaging itself. So if you wanted to, pose your action figures on this, you could. That's really nice. Also, there's a lot more detail in the weapons. So we had to take a station break to unbox these bad boys. There are so many of those little plastic tabs holding everything in place. It literally took like 10 minutes to unpackage and unbox everything. I think for most people, they'd be content just leaving it in the package and displaying it on their shelf. And to Playmates' credit, it was made so that they could do that. So we're going to work our way from Shredder all the way down to the table. The first thing you'll notice is that we've got a reissue of the 1988 Shredder here, and he's kind of hunched in the package. And I uploaded a short a week or two ago, and several folks in the comment section were saying the reason he was hunched over in the package was because they needed to fit him in this blister package. And so now we get to see Shredder standing upright. And another thing is all these action figures in the line are slightly taller than the original version. And so they definitely paid homage to the original Shredder. He's still shirtless and looking buff. But he, instead of having the cloth cape, he's got this kind of plastic cape. There's several points of articulation. His knees bend, his feet turn and swivel. His head also looks up and down now. Originally, the head would only rotate from left to right. But what I like are his proportions just look better compared to the original toy. It's nice to have the original to compare it to. They kept the color palette the same, which is kind of the blue helm and the blue wrist guards. And he comes with similar weapons. He's still got his katana, and he's got this kind of like stabby looking thing, and he even comes with a dagger. The other thing that's really neat about the updated toys is they've color coded all the weapons and accessories. So for example, Donatello's bow staff has got purple around it. We've got a reissue of the original here, and you'll notice that the bow staff is much shorter on the original toy, but they've got the same facial expression. So they've corrected the facial expression on Donatello's head. In the Orange Peel Turtles, they accidentally swapped Leonardo and Donatello's head. And you'll notice too that these 1988 remasters are slightly taller. These are 4.5 inches compared to the 4-inch action figures. The other thing that's improved here, the head articulation. The head can move up and down on these figures. On the original, they can only move from left to right. But you can also move the arms up and down. So the arms and legs are on ball joints now, and they're attached with a pin. And the original legs can only move kind of up and down or side to side. This just looks so smooth, and the stature just looks so much better. All these original figures are kind of hunched over and kind of condensed. This is very nice. The thing I like about the longer bow staff, it really shows it as a ranged weapon now, because the original one, you could tell it was a bow staff, but it just didn't feel like a ranged weapon. And you'll notice that all the weapons are color coded for the character that they go with. So for example, Donatello's got the purple on his staff, Leonardo's got the blue on his katanas, and he's still got the 2 holsters in the back. The head moves up and down as well. Raphael's got red on his side handles, and he's even got this little holster in the back. There used to be like a stabby weapon that looked like this one that would come with Raphael, and it would go in the back, so he didn't come with that. Splinter comes with some really neat accessories. We'll talk about the figure in a second, but his walking stick, opens up and there's a dagger inside, and so they captured that from the cartoon. And he comes with his bow and arrow. He's also got similar type of points of articulation to the knees bend, the wrists bend. The head also can go up and down. Oh, and the tail pops off if you're not careful. But what's really neat about this Splinter, the original one, some people in the comments section of our short was saying that he looked like some kind of giant beaver, and that's so true. Now he actually looks like a rat that's been mutated, and it looks more aesthetically pleasing. It looks more like the Splinter from the cartoon now, which is amazing. And the other thing you'll notice about Michelangelo's nunchucks, they've got like a metallic chain to them. We started to see that when they made the Sketch Turtles, as well as the original 1988 remastered, the Orange Peel Turtles. And he's still got the back compartment on his belt where he can store his nunchucks. But these are fantastic. I would definitely give these action figures 5 out of 5 shells. Now I know some people have been posting complaints about, The face is a little bit crooked on their Donatello. You know, there's different various quality things that might pop up here, but you're paying less than $10 for action figure here. This is simply an awesome deal. The points of articulation are updated if you want to pose them. I think that this is one of the best values in toys I've seen all year so far. You know, we've got the TMNT sewer playset coming out later this year. Pre-orders are up on Amazon. I'll throw links in the description of the video. But anybody who is familiar with that playset, they'll recognize that kind of spiked ball here. So this is definitely paying homage to the sewer playset for Playmates toys. And I think that these action figures, I can't wait to have them staged in that sewer playset. As soon as I saw them, I was like, oh my god, my heart melted. I was like, this is like a dream come true. So for me, all of these action figures and the sewer playset has been my grail. You know, as a kid, I grew up with several of these toys and they got lost in a move. And so you can tell I've definitely made up for it after the fact. But the sewer playset, I've come across it many different times at conventions, and it's just always overpriced for an old toy that might be missing some accessories, or the stickers are starting to fray and peel. Even like a really good shape one is a few $100s, and I couldn't stomach paying that, especially for something I already had. You can pre-order a reissue of the playset. It's less than $80, and I think that's a great value. One thing that I admire about Playmates toys in general, they always have the children and value in mind. You know, these toys, I would feel totally comfortable with my kids playing with them. I think they're durable. Unlike some other collectibles, some of the higher end collectibles, definitely they break. And, you know, they're not meant for kids. And admittedly, it took me a while to get into collecting NECA action figures because I felt like I was cheating on Playmates. I always was like, in my mind, oh, Playmates is the only real one. And to be honest with you, we grew up with Playmates. They've been part of the ride for a lot longer than a lot of the other companies. I'm not dogging on the other companies. I think that they make great collectibles. Nothing beats a reimagining of the original by the people that made the original toys. And so this has been an awesome trip down memory lane. I hope everybody enjoyed the video. As soon as we get the sewer playset, you know, we're going to unbox it here. We're going to compare, you know, the action figures on the playset. We've got a couple vehicles that have been reissued, like the Mutant module and the Foot Cruiser. I even got the pizza thrower back there somewhere. So I'm going to start, you know, integrating some of these action figures now that we've got all four of the brothers unboxed. I hope you enjoyed this nostalgic time-traveling adventure as much as I did today. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss all the amazing toys, collectibles, gaming, tips, tricks, and mods we've got coming down the pipeline.